What's going on, everybody? Jason here, TYT Sports. Last one from home. This one in northern New Jersey. So been in the city for obviously 2 weeks. Been back home, seeing family, friends, Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. It is my favorite holiday of the year. I take it very seriously. I take the food very seriously. I take the hungover Friday morning even more seriously. So we're going to do a little special edition of Turks and Jurks. Just because based on the 3 NFL games that happened yesterday, but I'm also going to focus once again, and I know we've been talking about it a lot, the Dallas Cowboys. So the Cowboys beat the Redskins. They're 10-1. They now are going to await the result, pretty much the Giants versus Browns game, because in 2 weeks the Giants play the Cowboys, and is the Cowboys going to that game 11-1? Well, that's going to make for an enticing matchup. Now, the Giants, being the Giants, likely could have a close game with the Browns. They play down to the teams, at least under Coughlin's era. I'm hoping we'll make a statement against the 0-11 Browns coming up this week. But in terms of the Cowboys, I was reading through like the Ringer, USA Today Sports, CBS Sports, and it's time to call it. They are the most elite team in the NFL right now. I understand Tom Brady and the Patriots have proven so much throughout the last decade of football that you can never, and I mean never, count them out. However, when you watch the Cowboys run their system, their game plan, and you watch that offensive line open up enough space for Ezekiel Elliot to burst through and then do his thing in the middle of the field, they are a dangerous, dangerous football team. So, yes, they let the Redskins back into the game after the quick score. I believe it was to Jordan Reed in the back of the end zone with a phenomenal catch. So my Turk, I guess it's two, is still Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. I also say that because there's a good chance Dak and Zeke are going to be fighting out for the MVP award. Zeke could be looking at a 2,000-yard season, if not about 1,800 rushing yards, and you can pour on 500-600 receiving yards on top of that. Dak Prescott was 17-24 for 180 or so yards and a touchdown. He also ran in a touchdown around 50 yards rushing. He's doing so much, and we can't... I find it amazing because teams aren't really blitzing the Cowboys that much, or at least as much as they did in the beginning of the season, because Dak is pretty good against the blitz. You know, he's a high IQ player. He rolls out the pocket, finds Dez Bryant in certain situations. We knew once that they synced up, because in the beginning of the year we weren't sure what was going to happen. When Dez and Dak synced up halfway through, it was going to be even more dangerous because Dez, even with the injury worries, is still one of the best receivers in the game, and his ability to create space and, of course, win jump balls in certain situations make him the receiver that he is. So they're sinking. They look unstoppable right now, and I'd be looking at them as the favorite to come out of the NFC, I know, as of Thanksgiving Day. So Turks, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, easy decisions there. Jerk, let's go to a different game. Let's go to the Lions and the Vikings game. Jerk somewhat... I'm going to say Jerk's, he's Jerick McKinnon. And I say that because Jerick McKinnon has been unable to really help out the offensive workload that he got handed. Now, I get that without Adrian Peterson, you know, you don't have the game's premier rusher or a top 5 rusher in the league when healthy at your side, at your disposal to work your plan. But now they've been using Jerick McKinnon week in and week out. Matt Asiata, on the other hand, when he gets his touches, of course, near the goal line, he vultures some touchdowns, but at least he can ground and pound. And I don't know why they keep going with Jerick McKinnon, and if not, at least using Matt Asiata. So you can also blame the Vikings coaching staff, but they're now 1-5 in their last 6. A bad interception. I mean, it was a great defensive play. Bad interception by Sam Bradford, or as J.R. Jackson would call him, Brad Samford, towards the end of that game, which caused the game-winning field goal to come on the leg of Matt Prater. And the Lions win on Thanksgiving Day, I believe, for a 4th straight year after losing 9 straight before that. So 4-9 over the last 13, but 4 straight Thanksgiving Day wins. They also covered the spread -2.5. That's a big win for everybody. Another jerk, kind of Jim Caldwell, just because he lost 2 challenges. And I get they were challengeable plays. They were plays that he probably should have challenged regardless. But, I mean, spot of the ball is always tough, and especially on a 4th down. I understand why you do that, but you lost both your challenges in the first half, so it's kind of jerk-worthy, and you gave a very traditional Jim Caldwell wide-eye look. That happens. Let's move forward because Turk, of course, Antonio Brown, but biggest jerk of the week, Donte Moncrief. Oh, my God. Moncrief and even Hilton, even though he grabbed in one of those amazing passes from Scott Tolzien, and I'm going to get to why part of the Colts game plan for that I thought was Turk-worthy, but Donte dropped like 3 or 4 passes that hit him in the hands, hit him in the numbers, hit him where a quality receiver like Moncrief is, even though the ball wasn't placed exactly where Andrew Luck probably would have placed it, you should be getting your hands on those balls. And he dropped a touchdown in the end zone on a crucial 4th down. The Steelers' defense was so good on the goal line. I mean, they were letting up big plays all the way to the goal line. And then the second they got there, Mitchell stepped up huge with some big, devastating hits, legal hits. I mean, not a lot, not like lowering the helmet into the other helmet, definitely lowering the helmet, but shoulder to shoulder, big legal hits that I thought was awesome. There's also some sportsmanship there when he, gave T.Y. Hilton a slap at the back of the head for, holding on to that ball. So it's hard to call T.Y. Hilton a jerk because he made that amazing catch, but it's easy to call Donte Moncrief a jerk because, well, he dropped a lot of passes that were crucial. Scott Tolzien looked fine. In a game where you really pretty much punted the idea that the Colts would even come close to winning or even get close to driving down the field and putting themselves in scoring position over and over. Let's say they went for the field goals on those 2 fourth downs. That game at one point would be 21-13, or then finish 28-13. But 21-13, you have a different game plan there. Going forward, of course, it changes with Big Ben and Antonio Brown's dominance over the middle and dominance down the sideline. 5 receptions for 3 touchdowns and 90 yards. Just AB all day, pretty much is what we're looking at. So here's why I consider the Colts somewhat Turk-worthy. They took shots downfield. Chuck Pagano was not afraid to dial up T.Y. Hilton down the sideline, dial up Donte Moncrief down the sideline. On a day where I think it was a Hall of Fame night, I think that Dallas Clark was there. They could have really used him as from the tight end slot. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne were there. They probably could have brought Reggie Wayne out of the dressing room, put him in a Colts jersey and see if he would have been able to help out because he didn't drop passes the way that Moncrief did. But they were throwing it downfield with Tolzien. I thought that was a really cool game plan that they drew up because it's Thanksgiving Day. You need to win. You're shorthanded your franchise quarterback, and somehow, Scott Tolzien survived that because, as always, biggest jerk of the week is always going to be the Colts offensive line for allowing Andrew Luck to get as injured as he does. Man, that guy has been rushed and hit and sacked more times than any quarterback I've ever seen that stands in the pocket for the most part. And Luck can sometimes get it done with his legs. So there's some Turks, some jerks for you. Leave your Turks and Jerks in the comment section below. Winners and losers. Lions won 16-13. Steelers finished it off 28-7. And the best game of the day I thought was the Cowboys against the Skins, 31-26. Jason went 3-0 on his bets for Thursday football and is sitting atop my own pick'em pool, doing better than Ben Mank ever would in pick'em. All right, we'll see you next time, and I'll be back in studio on Monday with one more clip coming soon, which will be on the 11 most surprising NBA players. That will be up tomorrow. See you guys.